Welcome to my Expat Stories. This one's about knowing exactly what you're doing and doing it anyway. Benny wasn't scammed, wasn't tricked, wasn't manipulated. He knew the bars were transactional, knew May was working, knew his mates were using him, knew he was spending too fast, knew the math didn't work. Did it anyway. Because when you've lived small your whole life and suddenly you've got 340 grand, you don't want slow and sensible. You want now. You want everything. You want to be the big man, just once, even if it only lasts 18 months. If you've ever had money burn a hole in your pocket, hit subscribe. Because Benny's about to show you what happens when YOLO meets a lottery win and you convince yourself £340,000 is infinite. Here's Benny. Right, I'm Benny. Benjamin really, but nobody calls me that. 58. Bolton. Used to work warehouse, distribution centre. Same job, 35 years. Loading. Unloading. Forklifts. Pallets. Same thing every day. Same pay every week. Enough to survive. Not enough to live. Not really live, just exist. In a one-bedroom flat. With heating I only turned on when I could see my breath. With holidays I couldn't afford. With a life that was small, comfortable, predictable, boring. Then I won the lottery. £340,000. Scratch card. Bought it at the corner shop on the way home from work. £5 card. Scratched it in my flat. Saw the numbers. Checked them 3 times. 4 times. 5 times. Couldn't believe it. £340,000. Me. Benny from Bolton. Warehouse Benny. Boring Benny. Suddenly I've got money. Real money. Life-changing money. I quit the next day. Literally the next day. Walked into the warehouse. Told the supervisor, "I'm done. I won the lottery. I'm out." He laughed. Thought I was joking. I showed him the ticket, the validation receipt, the confirmation from the lottery office. His face changed. "Benny, 340k? What are you going to do?" Live. Actually live. For once. I'd been thinking about Philippines for years. The lads at the warehouse talked about it. About cheap beer, about the girls, about living like a king on warehouse wages. But I never went, never had the money, never had the courage. Now I had both. £340,000 worth of courage. Enough to do everything I'd never done. Everything I'd always wanted. Everything I'd been too scared or too broke to try. I flew to Manila 2 weeks later. First class. Why not? I've got money now. Might as well enjoy it. The seat was like a bed. They brought me champagne. Real champagne. Not the cheap stuff. I'm sitting there drinking champagne at 40,000 feet thinking, this is it. This is the life. This is what I've been missing. I rented a penthouse in Makati. High floor, city view. Modern. Expensive. 35,000 pesos a month. About 560 quid. The agent said, "This is very expensive for Manila, sir." "Are you sure?" "I'm sure I've got 340k. I'm living well. I'm living like I deserve. Like I've earned. Like money should be lived." The flat was massive. 2 bedrooms, living room, kitchen. Balcony overlooking the city. The kind of place I'd never even visited in Bolton. The kind of place I'd walk past and think, rich people live there. Now I was rich people. Now I lived there. Now I could afford it. For a while at least. For as long as 340k lasts. Which I thought was years. Decades maybe. I was wrong. Very wrong. But I didn't know that yet. I went out that first night. Burgos Street, P. Burgos. The bar area, girly bars, go-go bars. Everything. Neon lights, girls outside calling. "Hello, sir. Come inside. Beautiful girls." Music thumping. Smell of beer and cigarette smoke mixing with street food. Barbecue, fried chicken. Exhaust fumes from jeepneys. Heat, humidity, everything hitting at once. Overwhelming. Exciting. Alive. This was what I came for. This was living. I went into a bar, Crystal Palace maybe, or one of them. They all blur together now, but that first night stands out. Girls everywhere. On stage, dancing, at tables, sitting with customers. All beautiful, all young, all available. I ordered a beer, San Miguel. Cold. The bottle was sweating in the heat. A girl sat next to me immediately. "Hi, sir. You want company? You want lady drink?" "Yeah, sure. Lady drink." Her name was May, 26, from Laguna, been working in Manila 2 years. sending money home to her family. Her daughter, she had a kid, 6 years old, living with May's mother. Normal story, common story, sad story. But I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about how she looked, how she smiled, how she made me feel important, wanted, seen for the first time in decades. We talked for hours. I bought her drinks, 10, 15. I lost count, 300 pesos each. About £5. I didn't care. I was buying rounds for other tables too. For the bartender. For anyone. I was the generous foreigner, the new guy, the big man, the one with money, the one everyone wanted to be near. I'd never felt that before. Never been that guy. Always been invisible Benny. Warehouse Benny. Now I was somebody. At least in this bar. For tonight. I bar-fined May 3,000 pesos, about £48. She came back to the penthouse. Saw the place. Wow, nice condo, sir. You rich man. Yeah, I guess I am. For now, at least. We spent the night together. It was transactional. Obviously. She was working. I was paying. But it felt good. Felt real. Felt like maybe I could have this. Not just tonight, but regularly. Consistently. Permanently. If I paid enough. The next morning I made an offer. May, how much do you make at the bar? Monthly. Maybe 20. 30,000 pesos. Depends on customers, some months more, some months less. What if I paid you 50,000 a month? Every month. Guaranteed, you don't work the bar. You just stay with me. Be my girlfriend. Exclusive. Just me, no other customers. She was quiet. Thinking. Calculating. 50,000 pesos is about £800. That's more than most bar girls make. Guaranteed income. One customer. Easy work. Why wouldn't she say yes? Okay, sir, I can do that, but can I still send money to my daughter? To my family? Course, that's your money. Do what you want. I just want you here. With me, as my girlfriend. She agreed. We shook hands like a business deal. Which it was. I knew that. She knew that. Everyone would have known that. But I didn't care. I had a girlfriend. A beautiful 26-year-old girlfriend. Living in my penthouse. Being with me. Making me feel alive. For £800 a month. Bargain. The first month was incredible. May moved in, brought her clothes, her things, made the place feel lived in, feel like home. We'd wake up together. She'd make breakfast, Filipino breakfast, longaniza, garlic fried rice, eggs. The smell filled the flat. Rich, savoury, delicious. We'd eat on the balcony, looking at the city, drinking coffee, planning the day. It felt like a real relationship, like a real life, like I'd made it. We went out every night. Bars, clubs, restaurants. I was spending £3,000 a week. Easily. Drinks, food, tips, taxis, everything. May would order what she wanted. I'd pay. No questions, no hesitation. I had 340k. What's a few thousand? What's a few nights out? I'm living. Actually living. For the first time in 58 years. Then I messaged the lads from the warehouse, 3 of them. Gary, Pete, Tomo. Mates for years. Shared shifts, shared breaks, shared boring lives in Bolton. I told them about Manila, about May, about the life, about the bars, about everything. They were jealous, interested, living the dream. Come out. I'll pay for your flights. Your hotels, everything. Just come out. Let's do this together. They came. All 3. I paid for everything. Flights, £1,200 each. Hotels, £800 each per week. Bar money, £2,000 each. I funded the whole trip. £6,000 for a week. For the lads. For showing off. For being the big man. For proving I'd made it. For proving Warehouse Benny was now somebody. We hit every bar in Manila. Everywhere. I was buying rounds. For us, for other customers. For the girls. For everyone. Making it rain. Being generous. Being the guy everyone wants to know. The guy everyone wants to drink with. The guy with money. With lottery money. With 340k. Which still felt infinite. Which still felt like it would last forever. The lads had the time of their lives. Gary bar-fined 3 girls in one night. Pete found a girl he wanted to bring back to Bolton. Tomo got so drunk he fell off a bar stool, and we had to carry him back to the hotel. It was chaos. Expensive chaos. Wild chaos, the kind of chaos I'd never experienced. The kind that costs money. Lots of money. My money. I didn't care. This was what the money was for. For living. For experiences. For memories. For being the big man. Just once. They came back 3 more times over the next year. Every 3 months. Same deal. I paid for everything. Flights, hotels, bars, girls, everything. I was spending 6,000 to 8,000 quid per visit. 24,000 to 32,000 pounds total on the lads' trips. On being generous, on showing off, on maintaining the image, on being Benny, the lottery winner. Benny, the big man. Not warehouse Benny anymore. Rich Benny. Fun Benny. The Benny everyone wanted to be around, but the money was disappearing. Faster than I thought. Faster than made sense. I was spending 15,000 to 20,000 pounds monthly. Rent, May's salary, going out, the lads' visits, trips to Boracay, to Palawan, to everywhere. Shopping, electronics, gifts for May's family, for her daughter, for everyone. I was generous Benny. Big-hearted Benny. The guy who says yes to everything. The guy who pays for everything. The guy whose account is getting smaller every month, but who's too busy living to notice. Too busy being the big man to do the math. May started asking for more. Not her salary. That was agreed. But extras. Benny, my daughter needs school fees. 10,000 pesos. I'd send it. My mother's sick, needs medicine. 15,000 pesos. I'd send it. My brother's motorbike broke. Can you help fix? 20,000 pesos. I'd send it. Every request, every need, every emergency. I said yes because I had money, because I could help, because saying yes felt good, felt generous, felt like what rich people do, what lottery winners do, what the big man does. Gary pulled me aside during visit 3. Benny, mate, you're burning through it. 340k sounds like loads, but you're spending 20k a month. That's what? 17 months? Less than 2 years. You're going to run out. Nah, I'm fine. I've got plenty left. Besides, you only live once. When am I going to get another chance to live like this? I'm 58. This is my time. Just saying, mate, might want to slow down. Make it last. I didn't slow down. Couldn't slow down. Didn't want to slow down. The spending was part of the fun, part of being the big man, part of living. Slowing down meant being boring Benny again, being warehouse Benny, being small life Benny. I wasn't going back to that. Not yet. Not while I still had money. Not while I could still be somebody. Month 15. I check my account. Routine check. See how much is left. See how I'm doing. I'm expecting maybe 100k, maybe 80. Still plenty. Still years left. Still safe. The number shows £32,000. My chest tightens. Actually tightens. Like someone's wrapped a band around my ribs and pulled. My hands go cold. Numb. Tingling. The phone feels heavy. Too heavy. Like it's made of lead. My mouth goes dry. Tongue sticking to the roof. I'm staring at the numbers. 32,000. From 340,000 in 15 months. I've spent £308,000 in 15 months. That's £20,500 monthly. That's over 20k. Every single month for 15 months straight. The math hits. Actually hits. Physical. Like a punch. I'm sweating. Cold sweat. Down my back. Under my arms. My heart's pounding. Loud. Fast. I can hear it in my ears. Feel it in my throat. £32,000 left. At 20k monthly, that's not even 2 months. Less than 2 months. 60 days. Then 0, then nothing. Then back to Bolton. Back to reality. Back to being broke. At 58. With no job, no pension, no future. Just memories of 18 months living like a king, and the knowledge I destroyed a lottery win that could have set me up for life. I tell May that night. We're in the penthouse. She's on the couch, watching Filipino TV. Some drama show. She's not really watching, just on her phone, scrolling. I sit down next to her. May, we need to talk. She looks up, sees my face, knows something's wrong. What's wrong, Benny? You look sick. I'm running out of money. I've got about 30,000 left. Maybe 2 months at the rate we're spending. Then it's gone. All of it. Her face doesn't change. No surprise, no shock, no panic. Just processing. Like she already knew. Like she'd been watching the account drain. like she'd been waiting for this conversation. What will you do? Go back to UK, to Bolton, find work, figure it out. I don't know. What about me? I can't pay you any more, May. Can't afford the penthouse, can't afford anything. I'm sorry. I thought I had more time, thought the money would last longer. I was wrong. She's quiet. Long quiet. Then, I understand, I need to work, need to make money. For my daughter, for my family. You've been generous, Benny. Really generous, but I need income, need stability. I'll go back to the bar, find new customers, find work, just like that. Clinical, professional. No tears, no drama, no begging me to stay, no offering to help. Just business ending, transaction complete. The salary's ending, the work's ending. Time to move on. I'm not angry, I'm not hurt. I knew what this was. Always knew. Just thought I had more time, more months, more us. Even if us was bought, even if us was transactional, even if us was always temporary. I wanted more of it, needed more of it. The feeling of being the big man, the feeling of being wanted, the feeling of mattering. All ending because the money's ending, because I spent it too fast, because I couldn't make 340k last longer than 15 months. May moves out that week, takes her things, doesn't say much, just packs, leaves, goes back to the bar. P. Burgos, same bar probably, same job, different customer, new generous foreigner, new big man, new lottery winner maybe, someone whose money will last longer than mine did, someone smarter, someone more careful, someone who isn't me. I move out of the penthouse, can't afford 35k pesos monthly anymore, can't afford 560 quid, can't afford the city view, the high floor, the 2 bedrooms, the life I thought I'd have for years. I rent a small place, Pasay, cheap area, 8,000 pesos monthly, about 128 quid, studio, 1 room, shared bathroom, hot, loud, smells like exhaust and fried food, no balcony, no view, just walls and a fan that rattles and neighbours you hear through thin concrete. This is what 340k buys you when it runs out, when 18 months becomes reality, when the big man becomes broke Benny again. I message the lads, tell them the money's gone, tell them I can't fund any more trips, tell them I'm coming back to Bolton soon. Gary replies, that's rough, mate. Thought you'd have years of that. Thanks for the trips, though. We're class. Proper mental. Best times. Pete, cheers for everything, Benny. Was unreal. Good luck back home. Tomo doesn't reply at all. 3 mates, 3 funded trips. 24 to 32,000 pounds spent. And when the money's gone, they're done. Back to the warehouse, back to their lives, back to forgetting about Benny the lottery winner, back to remembering me as Warehouse Benny, the guy who got lucky, the guy who spent it all, the guy who's back to nothing. They're not mean about it, not cruel, just done. The party's over, the funding's stopped. The big man's broke, time to move on. I spend 2 more months in Pasay, in the studio, using the last of the money. £32,000 becomes 20, becomes 10, becomes 5. I'm not going out anymore, not going to bars, not seeing anyone, just existing, in the small room, with the rattling fan, with the shared bathroom that's never clean, with the smell of other people's cooking mixing with exhaust from the street, with the reality of what I've done settling in. Heavy, crushing, permanent. I do the math. Actually sit down and do it. £340,000. If I'd been smart. If I'd invested it. Conservative investment. 5% annual return. That's £17,000 yearly. £1,400 monthly. For life. Forever. Sustainable. I could have lived in Philippines comfortably. Forever. Not penthouse comfortable. Not big man comfortable. But decent. Modest. Sustainable. Small flat. Local food. Occasional nights out. Normal life. For the rest of my life. For 30 years. 40 years. However long I live, the money would have outlasted me. Instead, I spent it in 15 months. Well, 17 months total, including these last 2. 17 months, £340,000. £20,000 monthly. On what? On rent I couldn't sustain. On a girlfriend who left when the money ended. On funding mates who stopped messaging when the trip stopped. On being the big man. on buying rounds for strangers, on living a life that was always temporary, always unsustainable, always ending. I just didn't want to see it, didn't want to acknowledge it, didn't want to do the math, until the math did itself, until the account hit zero, until reality became unavoidable. I book a flight back to Bolton, one way, economy, not first class this time, no champagne, no bed seat, just regular seat, middle seat, cramped, uncomfortable. The plane I should have flown the first time, the plane I would have flown if I'd been smart, if I'd been careful, if I'd made the money last, but I wasn't, didn't. Can't change it now, just deal with it. Just go home, just face what I've done. The flight's long, uncomfortable. I'm sitting between two strangers. No legroom, no sleep. Just hours of thinking, of regretting, of replaying every decision, every expense, every night out, every funded trip, every payment to May, every round of drinks, every big man moment, every YOLO decision, every time I ignored the math, every time I thought I had more time, every time I convinced myself 340k was infinite. It wasn't. It never was. It was 17 months. That's what 340k bought. 17 months of living big. 30 years of living small, traded for 17 months of living large. Bad trade. Terrible trade. The worst trade. And I can't undo it. Can't get it back. Can't rewind. Just forward. Just back to Bolton. Just back to reality. Just back to being broke Benny at 58 with nothing left except the knowledge that I had it. Had the chance, had the money, had the lottery win, and I blew it. Completely. Spectacularly. Inevitably. I'm back in Bolton now, 6 months back. Living in a small flat. Council flat. Waiting list was 2 months. I'm on benefits. Universal credit. About 900 quid monthly. That's my life now. That's what I've got. 900 quid monthly. From 20,000. From being the big man. From having 340k to 900 quid monthly in a council flat. At 58. The warehouse won't rehire me. Sorry, Benny. Positions are filled. We'll keep you on file. They won't. I'm 58. I walked out. I'm unreliable. I'm the guy who won the lottery and blew it. Nobody wants to hire that guy. Nobody wants the liability. The story. The failure. I see the lads sometimes. Around town, at the pub, they're friendly. All right, Benny, how's things? Awkward. Pitying. They know. Everyone knows. Benny who won the lottery. Benny who moved to Manila. Benny who spent it all. Benny who came back broke. Benny who's on benefits at 58. The story. The cautionary tale. The example of what not to do. The guy who had it all and has nothing. That's me now. That's my identity. Not warehouse Benny anymore. Not lottery Benny. Just broke Benny. Failure Benny. The guy who couldn't make 340k last 2 years. I think about May sometimes. Wonder if she thinks about me. Probably not. Probably forgot me within a week. Within a day, maybe. I was just a job. A good job. 800 quid monthly for 17 months. £13,600 total. Good money. Easy work. But jobs end. Customers run out. Time to move on. Find the next one. The next generous foreigner. The next big man. The next lottery winner who thinks his money will last forever. She's probably with him now, making him feel special. Making him feel like the big man. Making him think he's different. He's not. He's just next. Just another transaction. Just another temporary customer who'll run out eventually. Like I did. Like they all do. Like money always does when you spend it. Like it's infinite. The flat's cold. I can't afford to heat it. Not really, I turn it on sometimes. When it's freezing, when I can't stand it anymore. When I'm shaking from cold. But mostly I just wear layers, blankets, coats, inside. In my flat. In Bolton. Where I was before the lottery. Before Manila. Before May, before the big man life, before everything. I'm back to small. Back to cold. Back to boring. But worse. Because now I know what I'm missing. Know what I had. Know what I lost. Know what I could still have if I'd been smarter. More careful. More mature. More reasonable. More anything except what I was. Which was reckless. Impulsive. Short-sighted. Stupid. I bought a lottery ticket last week. Same corner shop. Same type. Scratch card. £5. Didn't win. Never win twice. Lightning doesn't strike twice. Lessons don't get second chances. I scratched it in my flat. In my cold flat. Wearing 3 layers. Shivering. Hoping. Stupid hope. Desperate hope. The hope of someone who knows they've f***ed up and wants a do-over. Wants a rewind. Wants another shot. Won't get one. Never get one. Just have to live with it. Live with the choices. Live with the 17 months. Live with the knowledge that I had £340,000 and I spent it being the big man for a year and a half, and now I'm back to being nobody, with nothing. And it's my fault. All my fault. Only my fault. Gary texted yesterday. Benny, me and the lads are thinking of doing a trip. Philippines maybe? You got any money left? Could you chip in? I didn't reply. What am I supposed to say? That I've got nothing. That I blew 340k in 17 months. That I'm on benefits. That I can't afford to heat my flat. That I can't chip in for anything. That I'm not the big man anymore. That I'm nobody. That the party's over and I'm the one who ended it. I just deleted the message. Blocked the number. All 3 numbers. Gary, Pete, Tomo. Can't face them. Can't face the reminder. Can't face being asked to fund things when I've got nothing. When I am nothing. When I'm back to being less than I was before the lottery. 'Cause before at least I had a job. Had stability. Had routine. Had small but sustainable. Now I've got nothing. Benefits. Cold flat. Regret. Knowledge. The painful knowledge that I had a chance and I f***ed it. I'm 59 now. 18 months in Manila. 6 months back in Bolton. 24 months since I won the lottery. 2 years since my life changed. Since I thought everything was different. Since I thought I'd made it. I hadn't made it. I'd just gotten lucky. And I'd taken that luck and set it on fire. Watched it burn. Enjoyed the warmth. For 17 months. Now it's cold again. Colder than before. 'Cause now I know what warm feels like. Know what money feels like. Know what being the big man feels like. And I also know it's gone. Forever gone. Never coming back gone. And I'm the one who did it. Who chose it. Who knew the math didn't work and did it anyway. Because YOLO. Because filling my boots. Because you only live once. Except you live with the consequences a lot longer than you live with the fun. The fun was 17 months. The consequences are the rest of my life. This is my expat stories. Benny won £340,000, moved to Manila, spent it all in 17 months on a penthouse and a full-time girlfriend and funding his warehouse mates' trips and being the big man, then came back to Bolton completely broke at 58, living on benefits in a council flat, knowing that £340,000 could have lasted 30 years. But he made it last 17 months, and the math was always there. He just chose not to look until it was too late.